My beloved child, listen carefully for a moment that feels strangely quiet, as if the world itself paused just so you could hear these words. There are times in life when an invisible thread gently pulls our attention towards something important. Tonight is one of those moments. You did not arrive here by accident. Something inside you sensed that a message meant for your heart was waiting. So before anything else, breathe slowly and stay with me. Don't skip this moment. There is meaning unfolding here, and if you stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you to understand. There are people in our lives whose presence feels ordinary on the surface but carries a deep, unspoken connection beneath it. A family member. Someone whose voice you have heard thousands of times. Someone whose laughter echoes through memories you almost forgot. Sometimes we move through our days assuming those bonds will always remain exactly as they are. Yet life has a mysterious way of sending small signals before important turning points. Not frightening signals, not warnings meant to cause panic, but gentle nudges meant to awaken awareness. And right now, something within you is being awakened. Think for a moment about the people closest to you. Faces may be appearing in your mind already. A brother. A sister. A parent. A cousin. Someone whose life has quietly woven itself into yours for years. What if I told you that the connection between you and that person is stronger than you realize? What if your awareness, your attention, and even your simple presence has the power to shift moments that might otherwise pass unnoticed? Stay with this message. Don't skip ahead. Because what you are about to realize could change how you see the next few days. There are rare moments when the universe aligns circumstances in ways we cannot fully explain. A sudden thought about someone. A feeling to check on them. A memory that returns unexpectedly. Most people ignore these quiet signals. They brush them aside as coincidence and continue scrolling through life. But those who pause, those who listen, often discover that these moments were invitations. Invitations to care deeper. Invitations to reconnect. Invitations to show up at exactly the right time. And that is where your story begins. Somewhere within your family circle, there is a person whose path is approaching a moment of great importance. Not a moment of darkness, but a moment where attention, love, and presence can make a powerful difference. Life sometimes moves so quickly that people forget how much they mean to one another. Days pass. Calls get delayed. Messages stay unwritten. Yet a single conversation, a single check-in, or a single moment of genuine connection can transform everything. Pause and think again. Is there someone you have been meaning to talk to? Someone you have not reached out to lately? Someone whose name quietly crossed your mind earlier today? That thought may not have been random. Don't skip this part. Because the truth unfolding here is simple but powerful, awareness changes outcomes. When your heart becomes attentive, small choices begin to ripple outward in ways you cannot see yet. A call placed today might arrive exactly when someone needed encouragement. A visit made tomorrow might bring unexpected comfort. A message sent tonight might remind someone that they are not alone. These moments are rarely dramatic. They often look ordinary from the outside. But their impact can be extraordinary. Stay till the end of this message, because something huge is waiting to reveal itself about the quiet strength you carry. You see, many people believe they have no influence over the events around them. They think life unfolds without their involvement. Yet history, families, and even friendships are filled with stories where one small act of attention changed everything. A person decides to check in on a loved one. A conversation happens that had almost been postponed. A moment of care appears right when it is needed most. And later, people look back and say something remarkable. If that moment had not happened, things might have been very different. Right now, you are standing in a moment like that. Not a moment of fear. Not a moment of pressure. But a moment of awareness. Your presence matters more than you realize. Somewhere within your family circle, someone may soon need encouragement, support, or simply the reminder that they are deeply valued. And the reason you are hearing this message today may be because your heart is capable of offering exactly that. Let me ask you something quietly. What if the greatest power you have is simply paying attention? What if noticing someone, reaching out, showing up, becomes the very thing that shifts the direction of an ordinary day into something meaningful? Life rarely announces its turning points with loud sounds or flashing lights. Instead, it whispers. It places gentle thoughts in our minds. It nudges us toward people we care about. And those who listen often discover that these whispers were guiding them towards something important all along. Right now, you are listening. And that matters more than you know. So hold this awareness with you tonight. Let it stay in the background of your thoughts. Think about the family member who crossed your mind earlier. There is a reason their presence appeared in your heart while hearing these words. Do not ignore that feeling. Because in the next part of this message, something even deeper will unfold, a realization about why certain connections appear in our thoughts at very specific moments, and how those quiet signals can lead to actions that change the story of an entire family. Stay with this journey. Don't skip what comes next. The meaning behind this moment is only beginning to reveal itself, and what you are about to understand may stay with you for the rest of your life. There is something unusual about the moment you are experiencing right now, and if you pause long enough to feel it, you may notice a quiet sense of awareness forming inside you. Not a loud realization, not a dramatic moment, but a subtle understanding that this message arrived for a reason. Many people scroll past moments like this without noticing their meaning. But you stayed. You are still here. And that alone says something important about the way your heart responds when life whispers instead of shouting. Stay with me for a while longer. Don't skip this part. Because the deeper truth behind this moment is only beginning to unfold. Think back to the first person whose face appeared in your mind earlier. Maybe it was someone you have not spoken to in a while. Maybe it was someone you saw recently but did not get the chance to truly talk with. Or maybe it was someone whose presence feels so familiar that you rarely pause to think about how much they mean to you. Now imagine something simple. Imagine that person smiling after hearing from you unexpectedly. Imagine their surprise when they realize someone was thinking about them. Imagine the warmth that spreads when they feel remembered. Small moments like that often look ordinary. But they hold incredible power. Because connection is one of the most powerful forces in human life. Every family carries invisible threads that link people together. Conversations, shared memories, laughter around a table, quiet support during difficult days. These threads form a network of care that holds people together even when distance or time tries to pull them apart. Sometimes those threads grow quiet for a while. But they never disappear. And every now and then, life creates a moment when one person feels a sudden urge to reconnect. That urge is not random. It is the heart recognizing the value of a bond that should never be taken for granted. That is why this message matters. You may not realize it yet, but awareness is one of the greatest gifts you can give to the people around you. When you become aware of someone's presence in your thoughts, you begin to see them differently. Their importance becomes clearer. Their role in your life becomes brighter. And when awareness grows, action often follows. Maybe a phone call. Maybe a short message. Maybe a visit you had been postponing. These things seem small, yet they can change entire days. Don't skip this realization, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. Many people believe extraordinary moments always arrive in dramatic ways. They imagine big announcements, unexpected events, or sudden changes. But the truth is far more interesting. Extraordinary moments often hide inside ordinary choices. A simple, "How are you today?" can arrive exactly when someone needed to hear it. A reminder that someone is loved can lift a heart that had quietly been carrying too much weight. And sometimes, a single moment of attention becomes a turning point that people remember for years. Right now, you are standing at the edge of a moment like that. The reason you are hearing this message is not to cause worry. It is to awaken something much more powerful: appreciation. Appreciation for the people who share your life. Appreciation for the bonds that have grown over time. Appreciation for the opportunity to show care while those moments are still present. Life moves quickly, and it is easy to assume there will always be another chance later. But the most meaningful people in our lives deserve attention today, not someday. Stay till the end of this message, because there is another layer to this story that many people overlook. Have you ever noticed how certain thoughts appear in your mind at very specific times? Sometimes a person's name suddenly appears in your thoughts while you are doing something completely unrelated. It might feel random at first. But what if it is actually a reminder? A reminder that relationships are living things. They grow when they receive attention. They strengthen when people choose to show care. And they shine brightest when someone decides to pause and say, "You matter to me." That is the quiet power you carry. Not the power to control the future. Not the power to change every circumstance. But the power to bring light into someone's day. And that power should never be underestimated. Imagine the ripple effect that begins when someone receives kindness they did not expect. Their mood shifts. Their thoughts brighten. The energy they carry into the rest of their day becomes lighter. Now imagine that ripple spreading further. They treat someone else with kindness. That person carries the feeling forward. And suddenly a single moment of care becomes something much larger than anyone predicted. This is how lives quietly transform. One thoughtful moment at a time. You may think you are just watching a message right now. But something deeper is happening. You are becoming aware of the influence your presence can have on the people who share your life. And awareness leads to intention. When you begin to move through your days with intention, your choices begin to carry meaning. Conversations become richer. Relationships grow stronger. Moments that once passed unnoticed become memories people cherish. So listen carefully. If a family member's face appeared in your thoughts today, do not ignore it. That thought may be an invitation to reconnect. An invitation to show appreciation. An invitation to remind someone that they are valued beyond words. Don't skip what comes next, because the next realization might surprise you. Sometimes the most powerful gift you can give someone is simply showing up. Not with perfect words. Not with elaborate plans. Just with presence. Presence tells people something important. It tells them they are not invisible. It tells them they matter. It tells them their place in your life is real and meaningful. And when people feel that kind of connection, something beautiful happens. Their world becomes brighter. Now imagine the opposite situation for a moment. Imagine someone quietly feeling forgotten. Imagine them wondering if anyone notices their efforts or cares about their presence. Then suddenly, a message arrives. A call. A moment of genuine attention. That moment can transform an entire day. Maybe even an entire week. Stay with this message, because something huge is waiting for you to realize. The reason this awareness arrived today might be simple. The time to appreciate the people around you is always now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. And as you continue listening, another truth is slowly beginning to appear. You are not just a passive observer in your life story. You are an active participant. Your attention, your words, and your presence shape the atmosphere around you. They influence the way people feel when they interact with you. That influence is powerful. More powerful than you might think. So before the next part of this journey begins, take a quiet moment to remember someone in your family whose presence has touched your life in meaningful ways. Hold their name in your mind. Because in the next part, something even deeper will unfold. A realization about why certain people are connected to us in ways that feel almost timeless, and how recognizing that connection can transform the future of those relationships. Stay with this message. Don't skip the next moment. Something important is still waiting to be revealed. A quiet realization may be rising within you now, almost like a gentle light appearing in a room that was once dim. It is the understanding that moments like this rarely arrive without purpose. You have stayed here through every word so far, and that alone reveals something meaningful about the way your heart responds to subtle signals. Many people rush past messages that invite reflection. But you did not. You paused. You listened. And because of that, a deeper layer of understanding is ready to unfold. Stay here with this thought for a moment. Don't skip ahead. Something important is beginning to take shape. Earlier, a face may have appeared in your mind. Perhaps it was someone in your family whose presence has always been quietly woven into your life. Maybe it was someone whose voice you can recognize instantly, even in a crowded room. Or someone whose laughter carries memories that stretch back years. Those connections are not ordinary. Family bonds carry stories, shared moments, and silent understandings that no one else can fully see from the outside. They hold childhood memories, unexpected lessons, and countless small experiences that slowly shape the way people care for each other. Yet even the strongest bonds sometimes move quietly into the background of daily life. Busy schedules appear. Responsibilities grow. Days move faster than anyone expects. And without realizing it, people begin assuming there will always be time later to reconnect more deeply. But sometimes life sends a reminder. Not a loud reminder. A quiet one. That is what this moment may be. Stay till the end of this message, because something huge is waiting for you to realize about the role you play in the lives of those around you. Imagine a simple scene. A family gathering where people are talking, sharing stories, and remembering moments that once seemed small but now feel precious. In those gatherings, people often say something interesting. They speak about times when someone unexpectedly reached out at just the right moment. They say things like, "I'm glad you called that day. I didn't realize how much that visit meant until later. Your message came at the perfect time." Those moments become stories that families carry forward for years. And what is surprising is how often those stories begin with something small. A simple decision to check in. A moment of curiosity about how someone is doing. A quiet feeling that says, "I should talk to them today." Most people ignore that feeling. But some people listen. You are one of the people who listens. And that is why this message may feel strangely personal to you. Because awareness creates opportunity. Opportunity to strengthen bonds that already exist. Opportunity to show appreciation for people whose presence shaped your life in ways you might not always think about. Let me ask you something gently. When was the last time you told a family member how much you appreciate them? Not casually. Not quickly. But sincerely. Those words carry more power than most people realize. They remind someone that their presence matters. They bring warmth into conversations that might otherwise feel ordinary. And sometimes those words become memories that stay with people long after the moment passes. Don't skip this realization. Because the next truth may surprise you. Many people wait for the perfect time to express appreciation. They believe they will do it later, when life slows down or when circumstances feel more ideal. But life rarely pauses long enough for perfect timing. The most meaningful expressions of care often happen in ordinary moments. Moments when someone simply decides to speak honestly about what another person means to them. And that is something you have the ability to do. Right now. Not someday. Now. Think again about the family member who crossed your mind earlier. Picture their face. Imagine hearing their voice. Remember a moment you shared that still makes you smile. Those memories are more valuable than they might appear at first glance. They are proof of a connection that has been growing quietly over time. And connections like that deserve attention. They deserve acknowledgement. They deserve appreciation. Stay with this message a little longer. Something huge is waiting for you to see clearly. Sometimes people assume their presence in someone's life is already understood. They think appreciation is obvious, so there is no need to say it aloud. But the truth is different. Even the strongest people sometimes need reminders that they matter. Even those who appear confident sometimes appreciate hearing that their presence brings value into someone's life. Your words have the ability to create those reminders. Your attention has the ability to brighten someone's day in ways you may never fully witness. Imagine someone finishing a conversation with you and feeling lighter than they did before. Imagine them carrying that warmth into the rest of their day. Imagine them sharing that positivity with others. That is the ripple effect of genuine connection. It begins quietly. But it travels further than anyone expects. And right now, you are becoming more aware of that ripple. You are recognizing that your presence carries influence. Not in a dramatic or overwhelming way, but in a human way. A meaningful way. A way that shapes moments that might otherwise pass unnoticed. So listen carefully to the thought forming within you. If someone in your family crossed your mind today, that moment may be an invitation. An invitation to reconnect. An invitation to appreciate. An invitation to strengthen a bond that already exists. And as you continue through this message, another realization is slowly appearing. Life's most meaningful relationships are not defined by grand gestures alone. They are built through consistent moments of care. A conversation here. A message there. A reminder that someone is valued and remembered. Those small moments accumulate over time until they form something powerful, a deep sense of belonging. Everyone wants to feel that sense of belonging. Everyone wants to know they matter in the lives of others. And you have the ability to help create that feeling. Not through complicated actions, but through simple awareness and genuine care. Stay till the end, because something important is about to become clear. Right now you are standing inside a moment of reflection. A moment where the value of the people around you is becoming more visible. Many people only realize that value much later, after time has already passed. But you are realizing it now. That awareness is a gift. A reminder that appreciation should not wait for distant moments. It should live in the present. And as this realization continues to grow, the next part of this journey will reveal something even deeper about the quiet signals that appear in our lives. And why paying attention to them can transform the way we experience the people we love. Stay with the message. Don't skip what comes next. Because the next part will reveal a truth about connection that most people spend years trying to understand, yet it can become clear in a single moment of awareness.